Mic check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hopefully everybody's doing well. What I'm gonna do is just do some quick housekeeping and tell you if you don't have time to watch the whole entire stream, the replay will be up and I will have the chapters built into it, so make sure that you check it out. You already see the title. This might be the wrong kind of vibe. But what I'm gonna do is, actually not, because if Kanye's from Chicago, man, we got, house music. So anyways, and we had that discussion the other day. So what I'm gonna do is just set something up here. I'm gonna put a message in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat real quick. So it will be this right here. Who's watching the Kanye West documentary tonight? So this poll will be up. Just click on it if you can't vote, and let's talk about it. What's going on in Perkle Audio? I'm just letting everybody come in real quick. I'm gonna tweet something out real quick. So give me a second here, and we're gonna get to the vibes. So, and I want to do the shout outs real quick. The order of things. I got to give y'all love because y'all give me love by showing up here. All right, let me see. Damn. But let me go ahead and do this real quick. Some nice little housekeeping of the live stream. So if it looks, I was like, whoa, is my hand froze? But let me go ahead and tweet this out. Put this over here. Boy. And to think, in a little while, we'll have the MPC 2000 XL USB port. It's going to come from Drum Broker. That's cool. We're going to talk, man. We're going to have a nice little talk. Let's see here. But I think I could just pull the chat up right here. I don't think it's necessary for me to have it on a separate screen. So, but let me go ahead and take care of shout outs, man. Perk Dog, what's going on? DJ Georgie Porgy, what's good? Gordon Reed, what is going on? Julius Myth, what's good? Take on Paris, what's going on? Beezy, what's going on? Ifon 00, I believe. Emily M, what's going on? I think I said what's up to Julius. Zom City, man. Always good to see you up in here, my brother. Yeah, my IG is gone. I reported it as soon as I heard the news. As soon as I read the news in my email, and man, they said goodbye. Presto Beats, it's good. FA1 FA0 divided by 1. What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm having a weird day. I don't know. My energy is kind of weird. I don't know why it's like that. Hopefully I can pull it together. And not necessarily mad or anything like that. Let me go ahead and grab the chat from right here on YouTube. I mean, on my iPhone. But yeah, universe got me having weird energy today. You know how that be sometimes. But I'm glad everybody is here, enjoying themselves. I'm just gonna make sure that I can look at the chat. I saw some pretty interesting questions here. Man, this setup, man, I swear. I like this setup. I really do. There are some things that I wish it could do better, and it has mostly to do with my MacBook Air M1, which I ain't gonna lie to you, it's a very good laptop for its size, its portability, and the ability to create music on it. But man, multitasking on this thing, at least heavy apps, you start to see it limp a little bit. And for me to get this type of stream on the MacBook Air M1 is nothing short of phenomenal, to be honest. But either way, we got this on lock. But yeah, I do have a poll up there. Y'all can look at the poll. Right now it's at 59%. Oh, I wonder if I can pull up the poll on here. I see top chat, blah, 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 blah. Where is the poll? I saw somebody, they said something in the chat that I thought was pretty funny. Or not necessarily funny. He said the movie doesn't come out until the 16th. It's out in theaters for one day right now, so that's an important thing to say. If y'all are trying to see the Kanye West Jeen Yuhs documentary, it's only at selected theaters. I believe AMC does have it on deck, by the way. And who else has it on deck? Well, all your major theaters. Just type it in your browser. Let me handle this real quick, guys. All right, got a little off task. Let's see. And I'm gonna continue giving shout outs, and we'll talk about it. My expectations and why I'm going to see it, and and maybe should you see it? You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm looking at the poll. The poll says right here, it says who's watching the Kanye West documentary tonight in movie theaters. It is at 52% for me and 48% not me. This shit looks like a presidential race. I wish my effects was working. Oh, I can hear it today for some godforsaken reason. That's cool. But yeah, it's kind of funny though. Man, that is crazy. That's crazy information there. Oh man, now it's at 52% not me and 48% me. Jeez, good Lord. But yeah, so yeah. So I've had this like weird spirit on myself, man, today, and I'm just trying to shake it off because honestly, the way I'm looking at things, it can go both ways. It can go either way, and that's pretty much anybody's life. You have control. You can't control people, but you can darn sure control the situation that's at hand. And I'm not trying to speak in code or anything like that. I'm being as straightforward as possible. Yeah, and that's why I'm starting to think about things in the lines of like Kanye in this documentary and just giving it a chance. Because like it or not, man, Kanye West, his career has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's been pretty dominant for a long time. We're talking about 2 decades, if not a little bit more. This man has produced some of the dopest hip hop songs, has influenced people into sampling again. I remember sampling was being looked down upon at one time, and this man was still piloting that type of style. Of course, the biggest thing that people ask me about his production and whatnot has to be like, do I think he's amongst the best producers? And without a shadow of a doubt, the way he has finessed his career, and let me not say finesse, because that means that implements that this dude has skimmed in some certain way, and that's just not the case. This man has brought his active brilliance and has provided jobs for plenty of people of all shades. And that's a bit problematic, of course, because if you start to look at his history of controversial things that he said and so forth, then you start to look at Kanye in a certain manner. But he is the master of this. Even at right now, some news broke out, and I'm not indulged in people's personal lives per se, but some news broke about his ex-wife Kim Kardashian, which said, that she chose herself, and she chose herself over Kanye or over her marriage or whatever. And yeah, I'm not really into that. I like that type of news or anything like that. But if you look at the timing of this, and today being the 10th of February, and his documentary's coming out, people are going to be automatically attached her name to his. So there's a connection that's deeper. It's deeper than what most people are thinking. And for the most part, they're just a representation of what just happens on a daily. Dude, like, people get divorced all the time. You know what I'm saying? And people go through all kinds of stuff. Mind you, I'm fully aware of how the attention is being used. And for the most part, it's kind of sad that they would break off their marriage. But, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. And that's those closed doors that bring the mystery, the biggest mystery of them all. So I'm going to look in the chat real quick, see where everybody's head is at. Prestox Beat said, I can enjoy the man's artwork with judging him by his personal life. Yeah, it's a beautiful nightmare. And that's the way. That's like the perfect summary of what I think of Kanye West's life. It's a beautiful nightmare, and I can relate to some of the things that he's went through. And I can, for those who don't know, I lost my mother almost 2 years ago. It's about to run up into 2 years, and it still feels like it happened yesterday. And I can only imagine somebody of his celebrity, regardless of him being a celebrity, he's still a human being. Like, people mourn and people change, and that's one of those situations, man. And I say this with tender love and care. Love is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and it can always, it's yin and yang in this manner too, by the way. As far as the philosophy goes, like, love is the most beautifulest thing that can ever happen to somebody. It can also be the most detrimental, because loss is far greater of a man. Like, loss, it does things to you physically, mentally, that can ultimately lead to being depressed. And that's not to bring the energy down of the stream, but man, this is good. We're talking about Kanye, man. This is a whole vibration, a whole person. So, what was this question? Somebody said, "Arn, do you use the Maschine?" I'm the reason why. The reason why I ask is I can't find a good comparison between Maschine and MPC workflow with all the advantages and disadvantages. So this is a little off topic, but this part of the stream is definitely for you guys. So I definitely want to focus in on that. I'm gonna change this part real quick. I hate that. I'm so awful with my timing with this thing. But yeah, I still love. I love this damn thing. It has its own little kinks to it. It's one thing I really do like about it. But as far as like the MPC workflow and the Maschine workflow, you gotta understand that those are two totally different workflows. Matter of fact, the Machine's workflow is closer to the AKAI Force than it is to the MPC. But they kind of, what they did in this instance, as far as the MPC goes, as far as the Maschine Plus goes, or the Maschine goes, is give you kind of the best of both worlds with clip-based production. And if you look at what I mean by clip-based production, just like the AKAI Force, the Maschine Plus sequences clips. It sequences clips I forgot the actual name for it. It's like they have patterns. They have what is the other one? I can't think of it. But if I was to play with the Maschine Plus in front of y'all guys, I obviously would understand the proper workflow for it. It has patterns. It has scenes. That's what it is. Scenes. You can make scenes unique. You can make patterns unique, and you can turn them into clips and play with them. Matter of fact, that's kind of the thing that made me kind of not like the Maschine Plus at first, but what most people need to understand is what may not work for you may work for someone else, and vice versa. And if I was to say something about the MPC's workflow that I like the most, and what people are afraid of, is its straightforwardness. Because it's like, dude, where's the piano roll? We in this generation where it's gonna be at least. I'm not making fun of you guys. I know some people prefer that kind of workflow, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And try to be positive. The MPC's workflow is very straightforward. It's so straightforward that it's very primitive in a manner, but you can get your ideas out quickly. The one thing that if you watch a lot of my live streams, especially the ones now versus like my first couple of live streams, which nobody really care about anyways, the workflow of the MPC, you can see how long it takes to get the intricate processing parts right, like loading samples, chopping the samples. And that's not difficult, or I could do that pretty fast now, like extremely fast. Picking out drums, and picking out drums, all those are easily ready-made by expansions, right? You have your expansions with organized drums. You get you like maybe 5 good expansions that cover different genres, and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? And the Maschine, the thing that the Maschine excels at is those sounds. Those sounds are amazing on the Maschine. The Maschine Plus. And my experience with the Maschine hasn't been bad enough for me not to use it. But in the instances that I have the AKAI MPC Live 2, which has a speaker on it, which has CB and gate, and it's pretty easy to, oh my God, this is so much now. If I just think about the firmware 2.10 update, the only way that AKAI can top that is by adding more plugins and seeing that you can host them on your hard drive. They have plans. I know that for a fact. But yeah, the Maschine, great sounds, man. Great sounds. You really can't lose, to be fair, if you got the Maschine Plus. Now, there is one thing that I hope that Native Instruments stays on top of, and that is making it to where it is CPU efficient. Because you can make a beat on the Maschine Plus, and dude, it will, like, you can load up 1 expansion, 2 expansions, and the CPU will spike. And the thing I didn't like about the Maschine Plus reviews early on, except for like, I can't think of his name, but I think he's all the way out there in hometown Germany. He was very honest. But the CPU usage is an issue. It's a huge issue. It's crashed on me, and it's corrupt files. Now, I don't mind like a Groove box computer crashing. It's just natural at this point. You get CPU overloads, you load up too much in the virtual memory, and then there's no other place for that information, those data packets to go. So then your computer starts to throttle, and something like like the Maschine Plus, and we all know how Native Instruments plugins are a bit CPU hungry. Even with all that set aside, it's a technical marvel what they did with the Maschine Plus. They elevated a lot of things. The biggest thing that I think Native Instruments elevated with the Maschine Plus, I can buy my stuff online, buy it on my phone, and I could buy a Maschine expansion on my phone. I could buy it on my computer, and then I don't have to attach it to the computer to download those Maschine expansions. However, I've experienced issues with that too. Some of the Maschine expansions, even if you download them, they come up with errors, and that's after updating it, because sometimes when companies release products, they are specifically tied to an OS, a firmware update, a change, and those expansions are meant to showcase those changes, and it's not easy to make those sounds work on a standalone device that has a processor that's not as great as your laptop. Who cares? But I don't care. I'm not one of those people that care about great processors when it comes to making beats on something like this. Because what it does better than your laptop is that it 100% makes music, period. And this is a technical marvel too, because I can record a whole ass artist on the AKAI Force because it has disk streaming. So just an update on the poll. I wanted to see what's going on here. I know I just went on a rant, and I'm going to go back to chat questions and talk. And the poll, of course, is right over here. Maybe I'll be able to blow that. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Technology. The MacBook Air, baby. Yeah. So the poll, as of right now, it says who's watching the Kanye West documentary tonight. We have 52% that says me. I'm gonna watch it tonight in the movie theaters because, by the way, someone pointed out that it doesn't come out it comes out on Netflix on the 16th. I ain't waiting. Sorry. This is Valentine's weekend, Super Bowl weekend. It's a whole bunch going on, and I'm very aware as a fan of basketball. I did hear the big trade with Philadelphia getting rid of Ben Simmons finally and sending Steph Curry to the Nets, and which is, if KD is able to come back, that still would kind of work. Cause Steph Curry, man, don't sleep on him, man. His brother is balling. You know, we all know that Steph can ball. Steph is no joke either, man. I fully experienced that and knew that he would be an issue during the playoffs last year when the Hawks beat the 76ers. And the problem of that series was Ben Simmons. But yeah, I'm aware of that trade. James Harden, but they got rid of some pieces to get James Harden. They got rid of a lot. 49% not me out of 68 votes, man. Wow. And we got like 61 people watching right now. So some people were in and out. So that's crazy. So I'm gonna go back to the chat talk here because we're talking Kanye for real. And I know a lot of people, they might tune in. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is your first time being on my channel, I make beats. Simple as that. I do tutorials. I try to help people out. And that's my claim to fame. It's nothing like Kanye. I don't have any platinum plaques. I don't have any albums in the store. And I barely have anything on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. That's going to change. I'm going to change the game. I'm one of those people, and that's another reason why I like Kanye so much. Kanye is not afraid to change the game for what it is. He's not afraid to play the game either. There's a lot of things to admire and to be like, what? And that's why I'm not surprised by this poll that it's like 51% me, 49% me. And that could go in multiple ways. Like, it doesn't mean that people just hate him. They probably don't have time to see the documentary or don't want to pay, $20-something to see, part one. And then we all know how Kanye is as a person. Again, he suffers from multiple and I see it. I don't know why. It's like, man, why do you guys not see this? Like, he has multiple personality disorder, for real. He really does, and his mind has been fragmented from all of the trauma in his life, and it doesn't take much trauma. Lose a loved one, bruh, and I promise you, you will not be the same. You won't be the same, dog. There's some of us in here right now that have lost immediate loved ones in our lives, and our lives have changed like rapidly. And it is hard to get a grip on that. So I do sympathize with Kanye West on many of the things they do, and I think internationally people sympathize for a person like that because they know that the world is difficult, and we only know just a little bit. We're just outsiders looking into someone's life of a Kanye West, which the first time I've ever heard a Kanye West piece, I believe it was when he produced for Beanie Sigel, which ultimately led to him producing for Jay-Z. And definitely, I can't, man, 9/11 was when the Blueprint album came out, the first Blueprint. And, the H to Izzo, was his lead single, produced by Kanye West. He sampled, I want to say, I Want You Back, I believe, the Jackson 5. I sampled that too, but man, did he murder that shit, bro. Instant knew that Kanye West was a problem, and I mean that in a good way when it came to production. And boy, and that's the Kanye West that most people want back, because they feel like that was the Kanye West that was for them. And a lot of people think that Kanye West was lost. And all I can say is, man, look, you enjoy a person's art. If he ain't out here doing the absolute worst to people, then you just gotta let a brother live for what it is, man. I'm not holding him accountable for anything outside of, some of the silly things that he say, and I just look at that with a grain of salt, because I have enough leadership and a lot of continuity to know that God damn it, that was some good news. I'm holding my damn phone, and man, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I know how to listen to people and know when to make the decision. You know what I'm saying? And I just look at what Kanye West has achieved musically, and what he has done in fashion too as well. And I also look at the entire opposite of what a Kanye is, which, what I'm saying, rest in peace, Virgil, and what he's done. Because for a lot of people don't even know, and this is not to take the segue too far, but Virgil is dope as fuck. I believe you can go on YouTube and see some of his DJ sets, and his production then was amazing. Just to be truthful about it. Let's see here. I need to get to the top of that. Boo, 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 boo. It looks like we're still at a standstill on the poll here. I see it said, the poll, you can vote, guys. I believe the poll should pop up in the chat somewhere. It didn't pop up on the chat from me, but it says, who's watching the Kanye West documentary tonight? And I have it at 52% me, and then is at 48% not me. So I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm gonna see what people are talking about. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can ask me. But yeah, for the people that just are clicking on it and just like, man, you ain't important. Well, the way YouTube works anyways is they're not gonna serve this video to a ton of people unless I say something crazy, and then people, it goes viral because I'm saying something ignorant. And that, if that's what it takes to be famous, then nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm tired of doing that. My emotions are my emotions, and I'm not here to do that shit. I'm looking at to see if it's still choppy, because it looks a little choppy. it's still choppy. If it's still choppy, I'm probably lose. We'll lose Twitter. And yeah, I think that might help. No, we have issues. That is weird. Are we still having issues? I don't see any frame drops over here, and it says it's green. It's just that something's weird going on the live stream. So it possibly could not be me. Maybe. Yeah, it looks like it's okay now. All right. Yeah, that shit had me a little worried. DJ Ruful says, McRee, real talk, how have you been? I've been all right. You know, I just been maintaining like everybody else. You know, I can't complain. One thing I'm learning, and it's a hard lesson to learn, is that you can't compare your success to other people's success. But you know, it's up to you if you're going to make an analysis on someone's success or not, and if you're going to quote unquote hate on them or just figure it out for yourself, because it's a high probability that, you know, you can live your life and have the best life, presumably, because of perception being so strong. You can have the nicest jewelry, you can have the dopest drum machines, you can have the dope ride, you can have a whole bunch of things, a nice ass crib, a nice ass condo, and you can you'll still have the exact same problems as the next man. And what people wager is that, what people don't wager is that, you know, more money, more problems. More money, more problems. You know, our society altogether is built on currency. Now it's social currency. So, yeah, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Underpowered CPU on the music hardware in 2021 and 2022 is unacceptable. That's Georgie Porgy. Yeah, I mean, I just want us, you know, as long as an OS is stable and I have things that sound good, that's all I need. I don't necessarily, for you guys that watch my channel continuously, know that I do a lot of music technology videos. And for the most part, I don't necessarily, as far as my channel has grown, I don't necessarily use the same thing or need to use the same thing to sound good over and over and over again. I know some of the good shortcuts. I know some of the good and bad of different equipment and all that. But at the same time, I'm not stressing the simple fact that, you know, a piece of gear or your laptop, desktop computer. I'm not feeling all this choppiness on my computer right now, but I'm not feeling. I am not feeling. In a damn. You know what? You do it live. We do it live. Fuck it.
No, we'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not stressed on having a certain kind of setup. Now, I enjoy setups like these right here, for sure. I enjoy these type of setups. I enjoy making beats on hardware. I enjoy making beats on laptops. I have a laptop right here. Now, again, I was talking about my MacBook Air, and you know, it's been a year, so I think it's about time to give you guys my final thoughts on the MacBook Air M1. But you know, when it comes to technology altogether, things change. Like there's supposed to be a new MacBook coming out. You know what I'm saying? The new MacBook's going to be here, and you know, it's going to be a big thing, and a lot of people are going to enjoy it and so forth. And you know, they're going to move on from this MacBook Air M1 and get the MacBook Air M2. You know how Apple does these things. It's the reason why they're $1 trillion company. I'm just saying, you know, you feel me? You know, that's crazy. But yeah. A perk dog. Kanye's life reminds me of Ozzy's song, Diary of a Madman. Watch his next project going to have something related to Ozzy Osbourne. We'll see. We'll see. being a celebrity altogether is different. It's just different. Corey Wynn said, Just Blaze versus Kanye West. I say Kanye. Just Blaze is a very talented producer too. I know Kanye for the sense of smoke or having smoke. Oh boy, what we got going? Okay, damn, it's really sluggish. But I know for the sense of that Kanye has existed or whatnot, he's a dope producer. And Just Blaze is a real dope producer too. I have a lot of respect for Just Blaze. I do. I have a lot of respect for Just Blaze. I've tried to make my beats sound like Just Blaze for years. For sure. Both him and Kanye. They both inspired me to find the best drums in the game and the most soulfulest of samples, for sure. And, with that imitation, there's a respect. And I don't care if I become anything, if my career ever jumps off to what I think it should be in my mind, whatever that means. I wouldn't disrespect a Just Blaze or a Kanye when it comes to music. So, but if I was to pick, which I think is would win, I would definitely probably say Kanye. Kanye there's a showmanship to Kanye West that people enjoy, like all people of all walks of life enjoy. So, that's the thing. Kanye is wonderful. Ye is one of the GOATs for sure. I believe in that. And what's going on? Shout outs to Dope It Duds. Couple Cloud said Kanye is wonderful. I did say that. Tyrone Sellers, what's going on? Emily, as long as people like a device and make music on it, I'm happy for them. Even if it's the beat thing. Yo. Damn, why'd you have to had to catch a fade? And what's funny though? And just on the light of this month, and just the energy that I'm about to engulf tonight. The beat thing could have done some stuff. There were some things that the beat thing had done well. But I think in terms of its overall design, the design was very undesirable. Like, it's a nightmare to look at right now, and it was a nightmare to look at it back then. But the sounds that they had inside of it was solid. The ingenuity was pretty good. The OS needed work, but damn near every piece of hardware needs work. But I was proud that this company, because there's not a lot of us brothers in big tech. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. There's not a lot of brothers up in big tech, and it's just not enough black people all together. Let's just keep it more general. Not a lot of black people in big tech, and I say that as someone that puts out a lot of music technology stuff. There's not a lot of us behind closed doors being represented on the board. But the few that are out there, they're playing the long game, man. Because sometimes it's not about, and this is where a lot of people just don't fall off and just can't understand, because it requires a lot of humility and humbleness. And I believe under all that ego, there's a lot of humbleness under Kanye. But just to be back on topic here, for most people, they're not gonna understand that it's a long game. There's things that we need to understand in terms of concepts, how things are structurally built, software engineering, hardware engineering, and then once and it's not like we don't exist or anything at all, but then that just comes to question, like, it takes a lot to start these type of companies, because it's a high failure rate to be a new company, bruh. And we need to learn, and just speaking of black folks here, we need to learn how to get along, and to a certain degree go along and play the game. And yeah, that's a long game. Kissing ass until you can kick it. A lot of us, we just go out here just with this destroyer mentality without any troopers. We have people that are willing, some people that are willing to go the further step, but there's no plan and organization. So it's a long game, and as somebody that has been at an executive level of doing stuff, dude, like, we got to start understanding the very concepts of building a business and how basic economics work, both in our community and outside of our community. And it stings and it hurts. And I fall victim of it all the time. Like, I was just mad at a certain thing that happened with promotion. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm on this level. I'm on a low level of a certain level where there's a level above that. And I'm not hurting on finances or anything like that. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to teach a lot of you guys. And when I go and look, man, it's just slim pickings, bro. You lucky if you in the door, at these companies, for real. I mean, we see it all over YouTube, and it saddens me. But, I know that there will be, the future is brighter, the better we bring it to the table, because we got to compete. Just like this live stream is so buggy right now, I'm very upset about it. But yeah, there's people that don't have buggy live streams, and they're mad entertaining, and they have these great presentations, and they have these sponsorships, and then they have, these service plans, and then they have all this, and they're making buku money, and it doesn't seem like it. But you have to figure it in your head, like, dude, when you look at someone like a Bo Beats or a Loop Pop, and I'm just talking about not on no Kanye shit, but just like on a sensible sense of, you look at Bo Beats and freaking Loop Pop, they're not doing bad. They're doing absolutely better than me, all across the board. And yeah, it hurts to compare your success to. I'm sorry for stuttering, but it hurts to compare your success to other people, because sometimes, some people, like, they will blow up overnight and other people won't. You might have to do a lot more than that person, because they might set a precedent in one side, one aspect, but then you turn around and you might be setting a better precedent in another aspect. Maybe they do have the new gear and they can get those type of views on their videos, and they can, start off with doing a whole bunch of content from companies, and these companies are opening their doors for a Bo Beats or a Loop Pop versus an McRee, which is in that regard is changing too, because, dude, I've had opportunities and I've either fucked them up or I've done mediocre, and there's much room for improvement. And you got to be somewhat of a hard judge of yourself, because you're competing against a lot of people on social media, people from all walks, all colors, all shades, sizes, and so forth. And if you are to play this silly mind game that, oh man, because I hate to be the brother to be like, oh, because it doesn't help people that look like me if I'm just sitting here crying, complaining that I'm not getting the opportunities of the next man. I'm happy as fuck for Bo Beats and Loop Pop, or Red Means recording or something like that. And if a brother happens to break into that, which I've seen, outside of Andrew Huang brought on freaking Sarah 2 Ill to do the 4 producers, 1 sample. These things are small steps, and they need to be happy. We need to learn how to communicate with everybody, relate to everybody, and and what this sounds like is safe Negro talk, because that's what they call it. That's what we call it. It's safe ass Negro. He don't have an opinion on shit. He just go along. But the niggas out here goddamn tap dancing, drunk monkey. They got drunk monkey, but those niggas is winning though. They're winning because they understand the very concepts of get along, go along, and play along. And even if you don't like their moves and what they represent, dude, it was going to work regardless, because now they're working with a bigger money pile than the person that's saying no and giving all this pushback. And this is not me like saying, oh man, well, I'm gonna sell out, because I could have sold out a long time ago, guys. I could have been a sellout a long time ago. What I've been trying to do with this channel altogether is making people sell in. But the one thing I've understood about working business, and the one thing I'm looking at this documentary for, is the very act of someone that's sold in. And a lot of people feel that Kanye West, let's get it off our chest, let's keep it real. They feel that Kanye is a sellout. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all can see that. Whoops. But a lot of people think that Kanye West is a damn sellout. Let's be real. And that he will tap dance for the highest bidder. Who disagrees with that sentiment? Corey Wynn said, don't sell out, bro. Look what happened to Rogan. They chose nonviolence from RB Garvey. Zach M, he said he sold out, and now he the woke mob. Now the woke mob is trying to cancel him. Zach M said you can't win against the Illuminati. Well, a big part of our social construct is power, and these folks are fighting for it. If I want to talk about who you think has more power, let's do a comparison: the government or Apple? Jeff Bezos or the government? Mark Zuckerfuck? Shout out to Chris Rock. No, shout out to my baby for pointing that out. Or the government. The government didn't even know how Facebook works. Our government only knows about politics and just collecting. Our government is a glorified bill collector. That's what our government is. They just collect. That's all they do is collect and bribe. This is when my channel gets canceled. Corey Wynn said Apple. Yeah, Bling Bling says Bezos. I'm just saying, dog. The reptilians got the power. Some. What's going on? HTK says, I'm just trying to enjoy the process. When I used to compare myself to other creators, it used to bug me. Now I just focus on me and trying to better every day. And I think the way that my channel, and that's good. That's good stuff, man. I think that my channel actually got popular. If I was there to use such a word, but I think my channel got popular off the very strength. And let me. I'm gonna exit out of Google real quick. I don't need it up. Boom. Maybe that will increase the very thing that ruins a lot of people mentally is that they look at other people's numbers and see how popular that they are. It looks like the stream is looking a little better. Yay! I'm still out of focus. But what it is people, you look at other people's success and how you get it, you overanalyze it. There was a lot of overanalyzation of how certain content creators were getting big and if they were scamming or not. And the answer to that is yes. There's a lot of people that scam and pull rugs over your hats, but if it helps you feel better with your mental stability that you're getting, 300K views of video versus if your real numbers are 1,000, because I treat my 1,000 views per video a day as if it's like 100K. And then again, one thing I've noticed about you, some is that you've been doing this for quite a while and you do it at a high capacity. And, there's a lot of success in that, and not to be wrapped up into that. And I bring that same message to anybody that's trying to just trying to do content creation altogether. This is just real life advice that will work for a whole bunch of people. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Let me see if I can set my, I'm trying to set my, I guess right around here. It looks somewhat sharp. But I would say I would wage that, consistency is where it's at. Consistency in improving what you got, improving on things that you do bad. Observe what you do wrong and not make excuses for it, and then you're gonna go a whole lot further than someone that's just ultimately pointing out all the hypocrisy and different things. Dog, dude, look, there's favors everywhere. There's favors everywhere. There are people that are more palatable than others. It's just how communities work altogether. And if there's a striving community, there's a thriving community. That's the way I look at things too. There's a ton of MPC, Maschine, and so forth content creators. Even more so now than ever. Like, I remember when it wasn't that many people doing the MPC videos and tutorials, and now I look at it and there's a ton of people that are doing it, and they're getting great views, and there's a few of them I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a few of them I enjoy. There's not one I would really dislike or say that they're whack. I know I actually called Matt, I think it's Matt Straighten. I said his beats were whack, but I enjoy his tutorials. I've watched his tutorials from beginning to end, and he tackles a lot of the content, and he's actually close to me in terms of subs. I remember when he was far away from getting a lot of subs. I remember when we all did the MPC Beats videos, and I took my time to try to make it as palatable as possible. I remember how hard I worked on trying to make that entertaining, funny, and just informative enough to where people would watch it and end up getting a lot of views. And his video surpassed my video, and I looked at it as if, as some bullshit. I was making excuses of why it would do well, why it did well. And honestly, dude is dope. He's a really nice guy, and he has a lot going for him on his channel. I'm actually concerned about him and his channel because I don't see him post as much, and it's kind of scary because as a content creator, and last year I went through it a lot. Like, I was doing videos, guys. I was doing tons of videos. I have tons of videos that I have not put out, and I just didn't have the spirit to edit because I was sitting here mourning my mother. I was sitting here mourning my old relationship, sitting here trying to put a new relationship and do the best that I could in my current relationship. And then in between that bullshit, I was doing bullshit myself, and a lot of personal things that I was doing bullshit, like I was fucking around on my girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing dumb ass shit. And when the key thing to that is just understanding your purpose, and we walk in this purpose every day. And I would tell any person that, like, we're human at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I want to see. I want to see Kanye, enjoying life with this documentary. And that's the main reason why I want to see it, is because I know that Kanye West is going to be showing me things that, maybe I haven't thought, in concepts in life, that will be brand new to me, and honestly, we share damn near the same complexion, but we don't have the same lives, and he's successful, and it's hard to knock that, even if there are things in the past where I just was like, dude, why are you saying this thing? And now I'm just to the point I was like, oh, you know what, this man is just, at this point, it's just him being him. I'm gonna allow a person to be him, and I think anger management helped me understand that concept with people, man. You can't control people, but you can control the situation. You can walk away. You ain't gotta to put hands on nobody if you don't have to, and you gotta understand the importance of your freedom. I know that's like low-level freaking stay out the penitentiary shit, but dudes, that's where my mind was at, because I was trapped in a damn job where I would wake up every day knowing that I do not like this job, knowing that I don't like nobody at the job, nobody at the work likes me, but they would fake smile and stuff like that because they didn't want to clean up toilets. They didn't want to clean up toilets. They didn't want to take out the trash. They didn't want to clean up the break rooms. And I was a stalker. I was doing stocking. Like, I was stocking freaking refrigerators and freaking big screen TVs and so forth, man. It's a miracle that I only got a little bit of time and I was able to beat the case because of I was able to beat the assault case and be brought down to simple battery, but I had to chalk that up to the area that I stay in because it's a nice area and people knew that I had a good reputation because at the end of the day, we're not always horrible people. And, and even the nicest of people have the darkest of thoughts. And some people that are dark on the outside, and no pun intended, but they have a good side too. It's called balance. It's hard to reach that balance. That's why I started reading books about chakras and shit like that, man. Because meditation and praying to the Most High brings me peace. It brings me inner peace. And a lot of us do need to heal. And the life of Kanye West is a beautiful tragedy. It is. It's a beautiful tragedy. It's a story of a man that grew up with expectations, and despite the odds, he exceeded those expectations. And it's not necessarily because he's a black man that he beat the expectations. Dude, there's people all over the world that are trying to reach the expectations of an Apple business, which technically could overwhelm the world with all of their resources. They're a multi-trillion-dollar company. Jeff Bezos, a multi-billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg, though, and that's another thing that a lot of you guys, I hope a lot of you guys get into is financing and business and investing. I mean, if I really wanted views, I would definitely do that kind of content because, yeah. But I love music too much, so I try to incorporate that love into my music. But, my Meta just lost 200 billion plus just because of the expectations that people are not using Facebook anymore. I had a recent run-in with Facebook as a consumer where I didn't do anything malicious. All I did on social media as far as Facebook was make people laugh and then sometimes rage, and I didn't even care about being on my regular Facebook page other than to claim my current girlfriend right now. That's it. Like, that's all. Hey, like, me and her together, I'm gonna marry her. You know what I'm saying? That was all that I cared about on regular Facebook. Other than that, it was all business shit. But yeah, they don't necessarily care about the consumers. They're not the it factor anymore. Obviously, the big adjustment that everybody's trying to make is to get up on that TikTok money and the way that they're trying to perform their algorithm. I noticed that YouTube Shorts basically is exactly, I wouldn't say exactly the same algorithm, but it's definitely the exact same premise as far as functionality, basic mechanics, and machine learning. But yeah, they're trying to capitalize on that. Reels is trying to capitalize on that. And yeah, it's just not working for Facebook. Facebook video never had anything to pop off because it was so underwhelmingly recognized because my content on Facebook, which is like straight up tutorial stuff, I blown up on Facebook a few times because people shared it in the little groups and stuff like that. I was a part of a couple of groups, and yeah, those type of aspects of Facebook were great. But let's keep it real. If you're not being spicy out here, most people aren't going to pay you any attention. Like, people pay attention to the dumbest of shit right now. That's like the real shit. You know what I'm saying? And even a person like Kanye West knows that. Like, that's why you see all the news of him and Kim going back and forth, and now he's putting out a documentary. And let's keep it real. This divorce goes down, and certain things were paying out, bro. This man's gonna be paying out his pockets. Just saying. You know what I mean? And that just highlights the importance of picking the right soulmate when you get married, whoever that is. You know what I'm saying? Pick out the right woman, pick out the right man, pick out the right non-binary person, and pick out the right, you know what I'm saying? You better, marriage is real. It doesn't matter who you are, but you better be able to pick out your soulmate properly. But yeah, you got to play that type of game with with the world, the internet. And the internet is one of those things that people, we turn to, we look at, and we say, hey, you know, it could be quite possible to be a millionaire overnight. And shoot, and that's kind of the new wave right now, because now I'm seeing people with the whole NFT thing. I've been tagging so many NFT shits on damn Twitter, but I understand. And then one of the homies did a sales pitch about getting on the NFT so that I can get some type of internet cloud. Or technically, in my aspect, or what they're really trying to do is trying to start influencing cryptocurrency. You know, they're trying to do that because they know people will jump on fads and trends, mainly fads. People are right now, all this is fads, and a lot of this stuff is pump and dump. There are some legitimate people, and if I was to do an NFT, it would be correctly. You know, we're going to do blockchaining. You know what I'm saying? I need three-way encryption, just like how Bitcoin is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really safe. It's not regulated. That's why you have a lot of scamming ass people out there that's doing these NFT scams. So it's got to be all the way legit with me, baby, because I'm not about to partake in no bullshit. Yes, scamming is very popular, and you can get very rich from scamming, and you can get a lot of respect from it. Sadly, because you're playing on people's feelings and their need to belong in society. But unfortunately, for one thing I had to learn, and just at the end of the day, it's okay to be an average human being on planet Earth. It is. There's nothing wrong with being average, but the life of luxury and all this stuff does not make you any better of a person. You can still be a shitty person if you have a lot of money too. You know what I'm saying? The shitty people exist everywhere. I see Teddy Bearosaurus tracks in here. Consistency is the hard part. Absolutely, positively, a real thing. I didn't want to do this live stream today. I didn't want to do this live stream for the simple fact that I just didn't want to do it. I wasn't feeling well, you know, just spirit-wise. But, you know, it's about pushing it, because at the end of the day, one thing I learned, because I was absolute garbage at basketball at one time, absolute trash. And I played just in high school, I played for one of the best high school basketball teams in the United States, just from my high school alone. But was I like a Michael Jordan or anything like that? No. Obviously, I wasn't Michael Jordan. I damn sure wasn't on LeBron or so forth, you know. But yeah, the thing that I learned from that was just it's difficult. It's difficult to compete, and you will lose. And the best way, you separate the strong from the weak, from not from your victories, but from your losses. Because you can lose and still be here, but you got to learn how to what you did wrong. In the instances of teamwork too, and team building, you got to learn from those mistakes and see if you can win from that. And there's a bigger victory in that. I like close basketball games. I don't like referee influence sports. I hate that. None of us really like when the refs start blowing whistles on bullshit. But yeah, the lesson of it is it's very difficult to be consistent. You can have potential, and potential is great at first until you don't live up to your potential. And a lot of people will root against you way before, or won't even know that you exist. And that's kind of the cold world that we're in. Imagine Jeff Bezos, which a lot of people, I think I've seen enough people say, oh man, Jeff Bezos, man, he's just spoiled, he's rich, and he's entitled and all this. I'm like, bro, do you not realize that Jeff Bezos was broke, poor? Story of many people's lives. Didn't know his father. Father wasn't there. Single parent household. Went to Harvard. I believe he graduated valedictorian from Harvard. Then put a business together out of his garage and was ultimately boxed out the game at first by Toys R Us. What? turn that L into a victory. It's all about consistency and the willingness to learn from your mistakes and being ahead of the curve. I fight people every day about AI and music theory, and people are saying it's the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, dude, the reason why I sound good is because I embrace technology. And like it or not, dude, if you want to spend all of your life learning centuries of music theory versus having a plugin that can ultimately teach you music theory as it goes, because you're going to learn what would be appropriate for whatever mood and whatever frequency, vibration that people like, and be able to connect with them. And you're going to tell me that you're not going to use that, and people that use that are cheating and whatever? Yeah, it's cheating. Okay, all right. And speaking of Jeff Bezos, one of the main reasons why he is successful is because of machine learning and AI technology, and embracing that technology early on, and understanding that a computer will have an advantage in data breakdown, calculations, probabilities. So, if you're one of those people that don't embrace technology, dude, you better get ready. I need to see you on a damn rotary phone. Get rid of your smartphone, dude. I'm just saying. That sounds very pretentious, but it's supposed to be. That was the point. Frankie Elliott, love how awake this group is. Evil power, reptilian, control over others, lobbying, bloodlines, Elon, fairness. Did you just put Elon like Elon Musk? I don't get that reference. Fairness, struggle, etc. Never give up, all never give in. The powers of reptilian, control over things, lobbying. Dude. Yeah. Oh, Super Katarina. This is the person. This is the person that did artwork for me a long time ago. It's good to see her, that she's in here. That's cool. Thank you so much for the kind words. You have chose, if you want to make history in your field, or if you want to be one of those many influencers that people forget after 2 years or for a week of fame. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing to deal with, because I see most people. This is what Gary Vee is telling people. Copy. That's what Gary Vee, one of the influencers that are extremely popular, rich, wrote books and so forth. He's telling people most common sense things and the easiest ways to get to the point of where you're at. And all it takes for a person to be right is once, and most people will follow that easily. And whatever it is, people perception is a thing, and people adapt to what that perception is faster than if you haven't accomplished anything. And that's one thing that you need to know that most people don't know. I, however, just enjoy what I do on YouTube. I will never ever have to fake. I will never ever have to fake being on this platform, and keep it business minded and all that, which I do keep it professional to a certain degree. But what's missing from YouTube, because I entered YouTube around the time it was invented. I made my YouTube channel, I think February 2007. I think YouTube was like a year before that or something like that. I could be wrong. Elon Musk. No. He hadn't. No, that's PayPal that he was involved with. But I believe one of the creators of YouTube actually worked with him at PayPal and something like that, of that order. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the chat. But yeah, like I got on YouTube just to share videos of me making beats and enjoying it. Then I realized that people needed help. people needed help, and that was my lane. And I wanted to brand myself the best way that I could, so that people could enjoy it, and then, you know, just show that I have some talent or something. You know what I'm saying? And I know people might have an issue with me just talking, because a lot of people have gotten used to me just teaching all the time, and this is a life talk. But I chose to do teaching because of it's an ongoing gift. Because I've seen people, content creators, right now. I always talk about KBZ. You know, I talk shit, and people think that I talk shit about KBZ because he's a white kid doing hip hop. That's what people think that I talk shit about KBZ for. Like, I've actually had people on Twitter tell me, "Oh, you a racist." When 9 times out of 10, at least once a day, I'm called the N-word on freaking YouTube. To this very day, I'm called the N-word. I promise you, KBZ has not ever had to deal with the sheer amount of racism on this platform. However, that is besides the point. The reason why KBZ, me and KBZ fell out is because of what I caught him doing behind closed doors. And I could have overly exposed him. People wanted me to expose him. But, you know, I thought of a kid, man, he's trying to live his dream. And a lot of people make mistakes. And I let it go. I let that shit go. Because if you don't let certain things like that go, guess what? You're going to be stuck talking about them. And that's going to be your excuse the rest of your life of why you didn't get there. But I'm proud of KBZ for what he's done. He's done a whole bunch. And it might not be my dream. And I might not be a fan of living it vicariously through his social medias. But I am proud of him as a content creator that beat all odds. Weird looking kid from a small part of the United States, loves hip hop, makes hip hop beats, and blew up. You know what I'm saying? Simon Servita, kind of the same story, Canadian kid, and he's blown up. And he's doing very well on this platform. I remember when content creators like Ocean, again, he surpassed me because he was putting out great content. He was putting out content that works. You know what I'm saying? And I look at people as content creators. What the hell? Somebody's outside with a motorcycle. And I look at these content creators, and I can't help but to be happy for them, because, you know, this platform isn't easy. This is what I do almost every other day isn't easy, and consistency is a must, and that's just a real life thing. If you really want to have a career doing music, there's probably going to be a lot more bad than there is good. Look, if you're trying to be in the music industry now, what is the real true perk about being in the music industry outside of having some clout? It sure isn't the money, as many people have complained about it. So you got to find your angle in that, right? Now I say there's not no money as far as like, you know, putting out a record. I know somebody would probably combat that and say, I don't make millions of dollars producing tracks for multiple people. Well, congratulations to you. You're one of the 10% or 1% of people, 10% or lower, that will ever achieve having a platinum plaque. And that's why you see people that flock to these content creators that got platinum plaques, because it's not easy to do that. But, you know, on my way up to 100K subscribers, man, I'll take a YouTube plaque, man. This wasn't an easy feat at all. It was hard. Hard as fuck. This was hard. This is extremely hard. And it's not going to get any easier after 100K. And I greatly appreciate it, because a lot of you guys could watch a whole bunch of different content creators. What's going on, Michael Heath? What's going on, Abril? What's going on? Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure, guys. Popular theory was... thank you for the sub. Popular theory was created for classic music in the 17th century. we have to get into the mathematics before music theory. Music theory is really math. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, when you actually look at music altogether, it's measured in like fractions, beats, bars, a lot of mathematics. And there's, truth be told, need to get me some juice or some shit. But the truth be told, there is a lot to be. There are a lot of music theory plugins that can just really do a lot. I don't see the fun in that. I do see the fun in using AI-based music production tools. For those who don't know, if what I'm talking about, this has machine. This doesn't necessarily have machine learning, but it does have AI in it, artificial intelligence. Like if I can define, different chords and stuff like that. Let's go. I believe menu on this. New. I can define different chords on this and play different progressions that I wouldn't normally have because the computer is superior in knowing what chord goes with what chord. You know what I'm saying? What usually hurts music theory altogether is the feeling is robotic. You know what I'm saying? Like if you 4 whole notes in music are very common within a 4-bar loop. Let's see here. And then crest notes. All right, now I'm gonna show you just the simple part of AI, and as far as what it has machine learned or what it's been programmed to do. Let's go. Is play progressions. Get here. Progressions. Boom. Let's get a sound that's actually good. And I mean, in the way we are right now with music, all you necessarily need is rhythm. If you have some similar some rhythm and some understand sound selection, because that is important. Like sound selection altogether is the biggest thing right now for most people I hear during all the live streams. But I can play chords and stuff like that from here. Let's go ahead and shift, octave up. Such a buzzy sound. What category am I in? Pass bright? Okay. I do want to go through all my hype synth presets. Boy, I actually like that little sound, that piano-esque sound. Hype synth is unbelievably incredible. It's just underrated, and it's like an opportunity for me to do a video on hype synth while I have this set up. I need to be more grateful for what I do have and not what I don't have. Just like man, AKAI is super toy. AKAI is my life. I love that word up. CDM, Civil Days Music TV. I was teaching a class and looked at the ruler and started teaching the class about music. Okay, that's dope. DJ George Porgy says, theory, a supposition or system of ideas intended to explain something, especially one based on general principles independent of thing to be explained, meaning nothing set to stone. That's a good way of breaking it down. See, and the thing about what people aren't understanding and how you break out of the norm is by embracing some type of change, controversial change. Not to necessarily say that I'm looking what the hell? I'm trying to get this thing lined up. I hate when it looks crooked on the screen. But if you're conforming to somebody's idea of something and it's already worked for that person and it's not working for you, then what are you supposed to do about it, right? So if I don't necessarily play the keys very well, I only have two different options, right? I can either, three. The first one, which takes up the most amount of time, and our most valuable resource is our time. Like it or not, you might be the youngest motherfucker on planet Earth, and you might be doing the damn thing, but your time is not promised. First of all, you know what I'm saying, and rest in power to all my people that have passed away in this world. Your time is not promised, and if you do have a lot of time on your hands, you might end up wasting a lot of that time. So if you was to, if you could become, and I promise you, if you was to ask Michael Jordan if he could go to a wishing well and wish to be, and he could say all the cap shit he wanted and say that he wouldn't, and people will probably take his word for it too, because he has the career. He has the career to back up his word, either be agreeing or non-agreeing. But if you could ask Michael Jordan if he could wish upon a star, and he could become the greatest basketball player with no practice, I can almost guarantee you he would say yes. Anybody with common sense, a brain in their head, would say yes. Anybody with a common sense, a brain in a brain cell, would say yes. Shortcut me, please. And for the most part, most people will look for a shortcut versus going through the grueling part of learning how to use something so you can get results. Because not only do you have to learn the very basics of it, you also have to learn how to be better more unique than the people that have used on said tool. So if I had to learn how to play that, and in reality, I'm sitting here playing on, maybe let's say a 25 key keyboard, a 25 key keyboard. And I had to sit there and learn, the different scales first, because that's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to play, a C major, a G major, A minor, E minor, D minor, F minor. You're going to learn your basic cowboy chords, your basic progressions. And then you got to learn how to play it better than all the people that existed before you. There's centuries of people that have learned how to play those chords in different fashions and add fancy chords to them. But if I was able to play these chords and let's go, and then I can go right over here and play the actual chords themselves, or actual notes themselves in the scale. I don't know why it's lined up like that. Play just that scale, but I can go back over here and perhaps I want to do chords of that. But I can ultimately sound like I know what I'm doing because of machine learning and play some progressions. What do you think most people would do? They would probably pick out something like this because it's a shortcut. And most people think that this is the most difficult in modern day society of music. They think that this piece right here is an anomaly. Like it's difficult to use. That's where we're at with music. Regardless if you like it or not. Now, let's say, and what most people argue about music theory and music theory plugins and AI machine learning and scales fit inside of a computer and all this other shit. What most people will complain about is, oh man, this is the reason why music sounds the same. That's the same ass argument I've been hearing for a long ass time about music theory altogether, right? Like, this is cheating. That is cheating. So what if I take somebody that's like me, except they have way more talent than me, and then they can just sit here. They know how to play that for real, but they're using the shortcuts because they might need inspiration. There might be something in here that they didn't hear when they play that chord progression, which I need to, what is that, by the way? I believe it's C major. No, it's C minor. Whoopsies. And it doesn't say it on the screen, by the way. But, oh my God, I did not know. Oh, so this new update did put in a way where you can have scales. But yeah, so let's say I've learned like Herbie, so to be on Herbie Hancock's level. Herbie Hancock, hey Siri, how old is Herbie Hancock?
Herbie Hancock is 81 years old.
Herbie Hancock is 81 fucking years old. And salute to that brother, by the way. Shout out to him. I hope you watch my content, if you can stand me. But now, somebody that's 20-something years old, the average person is not going to be on the level of a Herbie Hancock in terms of being able to play multiple instruments and understand jazz. But if I can understand and play shit that Herbie Hancock can play by using AI and machine learning, what would stop me from not doing that? Bruh, why would I not do that? Tell me why I would not choose to use pieces of gear that do that. It's just kind of crazy. It's a crazy argument with people that I have with people every single day on this channel. Yeah. Dude, please believe it, there are people that are musical theory genius that enjoy these machines. And what do you guys think happens when someone that already knows music theory ends up getting their hands on that? They become better. You don't become worse. Your music is not going to be worse because of that. Now, if you're choosing to not use pieces of gear or VST plugins that have that, and your music sounds ass and you're complaining about it, dude, shut the fuck up, because the problem is solved. You're just being too goddamn stubborn. You're being too damn stubborn. And I'm not going to be stubborn. Time is not promised to no one. Time is not promised to no one at all. So it's important that you understand that time is your most valuable resource. And if there is a shortcut, absolutely take it. But understand that there's consequences to taking those shortcuts. Because what if you walk into a studio and all of a sudden they don't have, most common sense thing to do would to bring your laptop or your MPC or your AKAI Force or your Maschine Plus or whatever you use that has built-in AI. Okay, because yes, Maschine Plus has AI too. And the MPC has AI that most people have not. I've yet to see somebody talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. But yeah, it makes more sense to use the tools that you have available to you than it is to talk shit about those tools that exist and continue to be trash. And yes, there is a double-edged sword to that. That's why companies like Unison Audio can get away with selling MIDI packs of scales and chords. Yes, it is. And if those tools don't teach you like the basics of music theory or just putting tones together, and some things you can't teach. You can't teach somebody the how to pick out certain sounds to complete a mood, because they might not be in touch with those type of feelings. The video I did where I played like my beats from my PlayStation MTV music generator and my Casio keyboard. That's a travesty. Those things that they didn't sound good. You know what I'm saying? And if I had these tools back then, dude, absolutely, dog, you already know what the vibes is. Shout out to Musician Paradise. By the way, this is Musician Paradise's chord progressions, by the way. They work in the AKAI Force now. And speaking of patches, this patch is rough. Bruh. Yes, I've used this millions of times anyways. I use that progression so much. And it just makes more sense, guys. It just makes more sense to understand that concept. But again, when you take shortcuts, there are consequences for taking shortcuts. That's the one thing I will tell a lot of people. Yeah, it's very easy to humanize it. Old musicians plus new music tools. Wait a minute. I apologize. I'm reading Teddy Bearsaurus chat comment. He says, old musicians plus new musicians, I believe, use tools though can do more than they that use tools that could do more. I'm trying to paraphrase it, but I'm pretty sure what he's saying is that, you know, there's no most people that have common sense would know that there's a common sense thing about just picking out the right proper thing to use and understand that. And yeah, I know, and what people think, and this is one thing I want to address about my Drum Monkey video. My Drum Monkey video wasn't necessarily just a hate on Drum Monkey. That wasn't even the main agenda about the Drum Monkey video. It was just to show you guys that for the dollar amount, it's not worth your time, because there are already tools that exist that cost less. And if we're going to talk about AI, machine learning, blah, 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 then you should know that there are tools out there that exist that can do the exact same thing, if not more, like something like Playbeat. Now, the problem that I have with Playbeat 3, even though I haven't done the full review on it, the sound selection, it wouldn't appeal to like most modern day producers that like trap beats. However, you can use it for that manner, but the pure genius of something like a Playbeat versus a Drum Monkey is that not only do you have control over sliding your sounds in and so forth, and you can try it out, because there was no demo version of Drum Monkey, which that just screams scam. But then again, we're talking about Unison audio here. But the sheer fact that Playbeat doesn't have the right selection of sounds is the biggest issue. And I get it. You know, you want to be kind of left field and then kind of get the leeway to people. But again, that product doesn't mean that the product isn't worth it at the end of the day. And that problem can be easily solved by the community liking it and using it, sharing presets, selling presets, and so forth. And the underlying strength of a Playbeat versus like a Drum Monkey or other existing drum machines is the quote unquote smart algorithm, which I hate that branding for that. But what I do enjoy about the smart algorithm is it learns different progressions on the fly and has the ability to do controlled chaos and give you ideas and spit out ideas based on probabilities, based on what? Different drum patterns. Like whatever drum patterns that you use. So you might like reggaeton, you like reggaeton rhythm, but you want a trap beat. And instead of doing, you know, you can select a couple of reggaeton parts that you like, toms, you like the way the toms flam and so forth. And then you can just pick out, your basic typical 5-13 step pattern of the snare, and then your usual drum pattern for your trap, and combine those two genres together in a couple of clicks. But yeah, technology, man, people need to get used to understanding that technology has advanced. It will continue to advance. Our society altogether is on a huge upscale of technology. The only problem is we as people are not getting smarter, and they're watching that. Like the average person isn't making more money now outside of the fact that inflation exists. And, big tech companies that use, and I'm pretty sure it's not just big tech companies either. A lot of retail stores are using machine learning to understand how they can further sell you. A prime example of that is Amazon. You click on something, it recommends something that's similar. And the more people click on that, the more that it can analyze what will be the best result that will make you spend more money. And if you pick out an MPC on Amazon and that's the only thing you picked out and you forgot to pick out wires, guess what's going to pop up down in the algorithm on the Amazon? It's going to be wires. So it does apply to a lot of different things that we are outside of just, an iPhone, a drum machine, a computer, a laptop. I just used AI not too long ago to find out Herbie Hancock's age. So, it's all how we benefit from technology. AC Curry says, MTV Music Generator was my gateway into music production. Likewise, it really changed that. RipX Deep Audio. RipX Deep Audio reminds me of Melodyne and another tool that I already have that does spectral analysis, and that is Isotope RX. Definitely AI driven. Those are both AI driven. Air Spider 23. Without that, I would never had worked with anyone I was lucky enough to have on my beats. Hell, MTV Music Generator. Yeah. Destructo, what's going on? Gosh darn, you got home and you mofos almost done. What? What's good, Destructo? My favorite thing about the Force is using it at a MIDI sequencer for hardware synths. I also like the sampler. Yeah, the sampler on there is okay. I haven't flipped anything. What type of camera controller do you use? If you're talking about are you talking about this right here, which is the Atom MIDI Pro? It's by Blackmagic. $600, and what it is an HDMI switcher, and so it allows me to do that. But I also have a Stream Deck over here on the side that you can't see, and I enjoy it. However, the biggest issue right now where I'm having a lot of frame drops is because I'm using the MacBook Air M1, and when it doesn't get enough bandwidth, this thing is a total nightmare. But as far as an overall laptop, if you want to do just music, it is brilliant. I believe it is probably one of the best laptops for its price point. I don't think anything is fucking with it in that category, but multitasking, absolutely not. You definitely would do better just to buy a MacBook, which I didn't have the option of doing at that time, but you would be better off buying the MacBook. If you have to be a Apple computer head, buy a MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro, Max or Max, MacBook M1 Pro, what the fuck, whatever, man, you know what I'm talking about. The 14-inch MacBook right now for 2022, or no, it came out last year. That's when everybody jumped on the bandwagon. That's probably one of the best laptops you can get, for sure. If you want to stick in the MacBook ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem. Yeah. Michael Jordan did have a shortcut. Nobody else had an NBA player basketball summer camps to practice until he did it. The same with Kobe. He just practiced more with anyone else. Well, yeah, I mean, I know the story with Kobe and rest in power, the Kobe Bryant. It's always been, excuse me, my lips is all chapped. You know why my lips is chapped. But Kobe Bryant, his advantage will probably be his father. I don't see a problem with that. His dad was in the league. He also played overseas. So he had to play with really good basketball players before and be able to compete at a higher level. So he was ready to come out of high school because he was so dominant in high school. I say that's a shortcut because a lot of people, I consider that a shortcut, granted. Still, he had to do the work. Kobe Bryant still had to wake up every single day with his basketball in his hand and hoop. He had to. If you think that Kobe Bryant's story is so unique, there are plenty of kids. For me, my connection with basketball, and like I was saying earlier, with taking shortcuts, but anyways, but related to the chat comment, dude, my high school, even to this very day, has the most NBA players to come out of a public school. Period. One of them was an all-star. Two really. And, shout out to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown went to Wheeler High School in Marietta, Georgia. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, that played for the Vancouver Grizzlies, played for the Atlanta Hawks, and then played for the Sacramento Kings. I believe he was an all-star and he was in the Olympics when he was in Vancouver. Always a dominant player. Obviously, he had to work hard. Yeah, but you still got to do that work. Sharif has brothers. Sharif, shout out to Muhammad. Shout out to Amir. I got love for you brothers to this very day. Stand in solidarity. Amir, a fantastic college basketball coach out here for Kennesaw State University. He actually picked up one of the kids from the high school, one of Kenny Burns' sons, Kenny Burns Jr. Kyle Burns is out here wrecking shit right now. But yeah, what the fuck is my point? Well, you still got to do the work. You got to do the work, and even that, having access to things does change a lot of stuff. And I'm not gonna front on you, and I'm not gonna argue against your point, because I do understand that having a set of resources available does make someone a little bit more have a higher chance of success. At the same time, the story is greater for someone that didn't have the resources and brought himself out the dirt. So, and there's going to be people that have these type of, it's never going to stop, dog. There's always things and opportunities that people are going to have over another person. And you still got to do the work. That never changes. That's the thing. You still got to do the work. You still got to be consistent. And that's kind of the thing that I live by, is consistency. Like, not every one of my videos are going to do 20K views in a day or a million views. I think I only have 1 million view video on my channel, million plus view video on my channel. I'm waiting for my million view channel video, but I understand that, it probably won't be some short video where I'm bullshitting and making a beat or something like that. It will probably be something that is on pace to that is my MPC videos. Some of my MPC videos are in the 100Ks right now. And, I got to do is cross my hand and hope and pray and continue to do the work and continue to be the best and level up. And I hate to say that level up shit, because it has so much taintedness to it now. But I had to understand that I can't just sit here and hope that, people are going to enjoy my content for what it is. And I don't continue to get better, because there are content creators on this platform that continue to get better. They continue to bring better presentations. I give a prime example of somebody I know that has done extremely well on this platform. Sanjay, shout out to Sanjay C. Sanjay C, and I know you subscribe to me, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Sanjay C. He's I think, what is he? 200K plus YouTube channel. Thrives on doing things in his own way, but he brings such a presentation, such professionalism, and has available resources. But it's because he set a precedent with his content. He has those available resources to him, and it's not like he's trying to. It's not like what he does is average. He's above average musician too as well. I'm not trying to discredit anybody in that matter. There are certain people that aren't as talented on YouTube, but they go viral all the time. Dude, it's just It is what it is. It be like that sometimes. You gotta shake that shit off and stop looking for an excuse for somebody to get better. You know what I mean, for you not to get better. It sucks. It does. And it's depressing. It's downright depressing. It is. It's downright depressing, but you know, it's what we deal with. Herbie Hancock's chord progressions. I would holler at Musician Paradise. Go and subscribe to his channel if you want more stuff to feed the algorithm inside of the MPC Live X01 or the Force. Again, one of the marvels of AKAI that I like is the ability to machine learn. People don't understand how machine learning works and how AI works because most people don't even know that AI existed since the 1950s. And it's not as an algorithm isn't one of those things where you could just throw around and just use it as an arbitrary term just because there's something that you don't understand about computers. Computers are very confusing because they're ever so evolving. They have evolved past us. We ourselves are pretty cybernetic and we don't even know it. I'm reading this starter. He said, I'm good. Had to go grocery shopping before the Super Bowl madness. Yeah, this is going to be a very busy weekend. Cries on the MacBook 2019. Cries in 2019 MacBook Pro. Yeah, you buy Apple products, then it is what it is. Emily M says Sanjay C is approaching 370,000 subs. Well, more power to him. He deserves it. And Teddy Bear Source said the dude is very clear with his presentation. Yeah. Taylor said his work ethic is crazy. Absolutely. And I'll tell you why his work ethic is crazy. One, understanding the very concept of YouTube is a business. Regardless of what we like to do as content creators, we're overly pushed back on by corporations. And if they're putting out good content or whatnot, there are a few people there's a selected few, a selected 1% of people that have surpassed dealing with corporations or whatnot. But the vast majority of us are boxed out. And yeah. You gotta understand the concepts of business, man. Like, if I'm not mistaken, him and his wife do the content together. He probably has a team, editors and so forth. And if he doesn't have a team of editors and so forth, he damn sure has the best equipment available to give high quality content. I seen this dude had slider view, like he has a slider for his camera, so it slides and shows the product. Is that necessary? Absolutely not. But it looks good in B-roll, right? That's great B-roll. But yeah, people connect with him in a certain way. If his presentations are very good, and his presentations are simple enough for anybody to understand, you can understand that's why he has a huge audience. Relatability is also a thing, man. It's not easy for people to understand, but it's kind of hard thing to accomplish. What's going on, 99 Bash? Should I fry Logic board in the process of making a record? My setup was broke as fuck. Damn. I don't know what that part of that conversation was coming from. Is this documentary going to be on Netflix? Yes, it is. It's going to be on Netflix on the 16th, but you can see it in movie theaters tonight only. So, I'm diving in to do that. Me and my boo. Air Spider says, I have a Mac from when dinosaurs were chasing Flintstones. I'll take it. I'll take a 2019. Holy shit. What you got, a 2015 MacBook or a 2012? Yeah. So, Cap says, Av, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You're a hell of a good person. I respect the shit out of you. Someday, I hope to accomplish a small percentage of what you have on YouTube. Well, I greatly appreciate it. It's not hard to do so. if you have, it's not hard to make content on YouTube if you have a slither of if you have a slither of a personality. Like hell, there's people that have terrible personalities that are extremely popular on this platform for being toxic as fuck. Some of my best videos are my quote unquote toxic videos. There's people for everybody. You just got to understand that it's not about you. It's more so about the people that are watching you. You know what I'm saying? And if you understand that very concept and you enjoy what you're doing, dude, there's no way in hell that you're not going to be successful in any amount. I've seen plenty of people. Again, Simon Servita Music. He's surpassed the hell out of me. And I've seen him grow from a tiny ass channel to a big channel. He used to come over here on my channel and support. He still does. He's an amazing person, you know. And I remember telling him about, like, dude, why'd you do that Unison Audio video? Again, you know, he's very popular. He's got money and so forth. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, you know. But then again, you got to be conscious of what you do. And he has been conscious of what he does. And now his platform is so big, he doesn't need those type of endorsements. And if he does go for those type of, not endorsements, but those sponsorships, you know, it is what it is. Somebody stop me. Yeah, Musician Paradise is a phenomenal person that's helped a lot of us. He's helped me with understanding very concepts of music production that I can't do. I just cannot do. I've tried. I practice and I can't. Only the Funk says I disagree, Av, with that. I think MJ and LeBron would take the long route. Well, first of all, LeBron James was born a certain way. He has genetics. Genetics is on his side. What the hell? It's not. I wonder why it's like that. Why are you like this? What's the name? He has, LeBron James has genetics on the side. 6'8", 200 something plus. Muscles. Yes, you have to work for muscles, but that body, not everybody is born with a body like that. And the athleticism, yes, you can work and get better, a higher vertical and all that stuff. But when you have a high vertical by nature, and you're fast by nature, you can only get faster, which eliminates a whole bunch of people. But if you disagree, I mean, that's cool. Nah, bro, people like MJ understand it's the journey and not the destination that matters. The victory, sweet, because of all the blood, sweat, and tears. No one appreciates shit that's given to them. Well, that might be true, but I almost guarantee you, if he could have attained it any easier, he would have, for sure. So yeah, you know, dudes, the MPC and the Force are badass. I really hope to make them additional software synths for it. Yeah, I hope so too. Shout outs to Catchy Noise Production for subscribing. Adam Neely has an interesting video on how music theory relates to white supremacy. Holy shit. I mean, I don't know. My comment as far as like white supremacy and music is just, dude, look, look, people, it's sad. I hate to say it, but there's people that enjoy hip hop that just don't like black people. It's just like, duh. Remember J.W. Lucas? Just saying. And that motherfucker, if it wasn't for a black person giving him a chance to give, for him to give a preset idea, and for him to go to get claims of that, a preset idea at best, not even come up with the very concept of a track altogether. Didn't produce nothing of that track, and he still got a platinum plaque. And he's racist as fuck. But yeah, he had a huge following. So yeah, sadly enough, there are people out there that it's just what do you? It's like we can always talk about that, but what are we gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do about it? Just you can levitate, but people like that are at a low vibration anyways, because the way racism works and how they recruit people for like neo-Nazis and punk and all this other shit is that they pick the lowest vibrating people, the lowest. I don't want to say lowest IQ, but I say lowest vibration, and then they turn around and make them feel like they're at home and make them build a community and make them make sure that they have been abused and hurt. There's always hurt in between that. People that are quote unquote racist. There's always hurt, and those are easy. And just like poor people, it's easier to tell a poor person to believe in something if you see, because poor people like to see rich people be rich. Now, we're in a society now where people are complaining about people being super rich, having the times of their lives and throwing it in people's faces. Of course, that group exists, but most people want to see someone that looks like them be successful. It makes them feel more comfortable. It's kind of the reason why history is written the way it is. Why would there be any U.S. history books inside of high school that would teach anything about black people being great? If this quote unquote social construct that we're living in is white based, it's definitely going to lift the morale, and the vice versa. If there was a lot of stuff about black kings, black rulers, and they do exist. Black scholars exist in droves, and some have been whitewashed, of course. But in the existence of that, that would empower a group. That's why you have terms like black power and white power, because it's empowering to see people that look like you be successful. Maybe not so much the evil shit. Thank you for the dono. I can't see who that is. Damn it. But thank you for the dono. Oh, there you go. There you go. It took forever. But yeah, thank you for the dono. But yeah, it's superiority is what it is, man. You gotta understand the very concepts of how those laws work. That racism is such an evil ideology. I can't stand it. If you know the history of America, it's even worse and very sad. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I'm not a safe Negro, by the way, guys. I've never been a safe Negro in my life. I'm not one of those Negroes that pretend to be Charlemagne. Charlemagne the God, Kanye. But I'm not one of those Negroes that act like I'm unsafe in the public eye, but then I'm safe behind closed doors either. I'm a very unsafe person. That goes to show that. I would say that if anyone believes skin color alone makes one superior or inferior, the chances are they have a lower IQ and significant issues. Well, I mean, that's facts. Yeah. It's like the whole equality thing. It's the whole equality thing is it exists because it doesn't exist. There are people that are better, but it's not defined directly off your skin tone. It's just that. But that little wrench in the wrench, that little wrench there alone is enough information to make people is enough to make people feel a certain kind of way, because we bond off of what we look like. And then some people, they're smart enough to understand that there are people, and respect that there are people that are intelligent all over the world. And the issue that we have in the black community is our representation of that. As in, there's not enough representation of that. And it's not something that, in the way I look at people that fight for that kind of equality is that they're looking to be saved by the very people that they say are oppressing them. It's like, they're not here to save you. You got to save your goddamn selves and understand basic economics and how to provide something for your community. And then you can bring that to the table. And people will respect that. There's nothing more powerful than a family. Av channeling his Paul Mooney. Somebody said I look like Paul Mooney one day because I was like, bro, I don't look nothing like Paul Mooney. We don't all look alike. Unfortunately, racist. I'll stop there. I'm sick of thinking it and hating is just stupid. Yeah, it's one of those things that is a controversy, and it's hard to talk about because the conversation needs to be had with every walk of people on Earth. And, most people aren't going to agree. And that's the other thing. It's like, people want to, it's like, all right, I respect your space. All right. But understand that you're not changing anything the way that I think. And a lot of people are like that. Like, they are set in their ways. So you just got to respect what they are. And if you have a mutual respect for that person, and if you don't have that mutual respect for that person, guess what? There's a high chance that you can get knocked the fuck out because you're being disrespectful, right? But so, it's about a matter of understanding people. That's why the whole hot ticket with relationships it's a big thing right now. The take on relationships and male versus female. That type of thing is a huge market on YouTube right now. It's getting a lot of views and so forth because of the inner conflict that people just don't want to understand. It's like, damn, I just want you to understand and cooperate. Can you fucking cooperate? Yeah, you don't like me. Okay, cool. But respect what I do because I bring something to the table. Man, over here talking about Biden and stuff like that. Our problems, people's problems in general, not just black people, is understanding a very concept of what was I gonna say? Because I was looking at what Jay Diggity was saying. I know Black Lives Matter is not a black organization. I know Biden is just a politician trying to get elected, but neither operates with hate. Shit, it's all about money these days, buddy. It's about money. Money is the main issue, bro, for sure. White nationalist psyops are for the dumb masses. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Joe Biden. I thought that was hilarious. And look what happened. Because people aren't that simple. I think there would be less problems if we were all the same color. No shit. No shit. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad that we have to be all the same. Hey, baby, looking forward to going to the movies. I see you, boo. Love you. I see a lot of, it shouldn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have to be that way. Especially if we're just going to be so blunt about or so, vague on something. It's all going on my lips. If we're going to be so vague about something, the hip-hop community should stand up for people that are really good in hip-hop. And it shouldn't be any shortcuts or it shouldn't be any shortcuts, hookups, homeboy circles, and shit like that based on, oh, yeah, you're cool. Oh, Like, and that's kind of been the argument about hip hop altogether, is that it's supposed to be about skill and so forth. And, you know, you're not real hip hop if you don't sound a certain kind of way. Those play into that same field of like racism. It just does. It's division at its finest. And some people play off that and win off division because they have control, because they have resources. So if you understand that very concept, then you understand why racism is such a hot ticket. It's a hot ticket topic. Give me a second here as I take this chat break here. Chat break. Ooh, burn my lip. I mean, in relationship to what Kanye said, man, I mean, there was a reason why he said Bush doesn't care about black people, because he knew that was going to get people under people's skin, and he was going to win cool points with a certain community at that particular time, which was the large, I guess, the lump sum of people that was buying his records. I wasn't personally buying Kanye West records because he said that. I was buying Kanye West records because he's good. You know what I'm saying? But you know, your lower vibration, one-dimensional thinkers, you know, they jumped on that and they jumped to a conclusion, and it caused like this Streisand effect. Did he really say that? Oh my God, Kanye, fuck Kanye. Oh my God, Kanye's my hero. He's my dad. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of energy rolled off. And then in hindsight of that, decades down the line, what the fuck does this man do? He jumps in and shows solidarity with Donald Trump. And that confused a lot of people. It didn't confuse me because I understand that very concept of what type of energy he's trying to put out there. Because he was trying to shift, again, the people that love and respect him. They're going to follow and listen to anything that he says. I think Steve Jobs had a quote. Steve Jobs had a really good quote. And people that, I believe the quote goes like this. He said, people that are crazy enough to believe they can rule the world usually do. I don't think that's, that I'm paraphrasing it. I don't think that's the exact quote, but I know Steve Jobs said that. What's going on, Wagabutt? And that's a very powerful comment coming from Steve Jobs, because we look in 2022, and who's the multi-trillion-dollar company? Apple. And they set an president with multiple ways of computing. The guy that used to work over there, Kim something, I can't think of his name, but I'm reading his book right now. And he's talking about the concepts of AI, but he worked for Apple at one time. Now he's working, I believe, in the China district of the China, the board. He's the head of the board in China for Google, and he developed the very concept of AI and speech to text that still exists in phones to this very day. Obviously works better on the iPhones, of course. And you can see where the birth of Siri came about. You know? But you look at what Steve Jobs said, and you look at the way Kanye West is acting, and then you understand why he found some type of comfort in Donald Trump altogether. And, you know, I'll keep that one off my opinions about Trump off the books, but I think it probably would shock a lot of people anyways. But I look at people for what they do for people. You know what I'm saying? And what they do, because that's the best way to judge a person is by their actions. Sometimes people will say shit and do the exact opposite too. People are manipulative like that. I was up with Whoopi on calling out the hate and calling out hate and calling out racism. And the reason why Whoopi Goldberg is going through all that scrutiny isn't because of just the very concept of what she brought up. The people that are in control of that situation, it happens to be Jewish. So just think of it this way. You have a platform. Let's think of it this way. What if somebody was in my comment section right now, right? And I was the type of person that, I might agree or disagree with that person, or I just don't agree with what someone said. I have the power to put this person in timeout, remove this person from my channel, because this is quote unquote my platform, though I'm using YouTube. And YouTube is a platform that belongs to what? Google. Now, I'm not going to overcomplicate things, but I can simply get rid of that person because I didn't agree with what that person said. That's what Whoopi Goldberg is experiencing. The way she said the things, we might, and this is what I would say to people that, they stand up in solidarity with Whoopi Goldberg, which is fine. That's the way you want to live your life. Cool. I get it. However, think about if, let's say, and I'm going to use this as a prime good example. I mean, it is Black History Month, right? A white person says, man, slavery, well, Kanye, goddamn, slavery was a choice. The only reason why we can't remove Kanye or do anything about Kanye or actually make this motherfucker feel like he can't say what the fuck he say, because we don't run shit. And that's the reason why Kanye can say something like that. But in hindsight of the point, what if, someone said some insensitive shit about slavery? A white person said something insensitive about slavery or spoke on it, period. Because usually when a white dude or whatever speaks on slavery, regardless of what side he's aligned on, it's like, why would you speak on something that you didn't go through or your ancestors didn't go through? And that's just in generalization. But the reality of it is, white people have been slaves. And that's one of the things that historically hasn't been covered and made a big landmark about as a talking point. White people have been slaves. There are plenty of white people that exist to this very day on planet Earth that are descendants of slaves, white slaves. Think of how discouraging that is for that part of history to come up, and that would be the centerpiece of someone's history. And think about how many people would in that particular scenario would have an issue with that. But the real thing, the problem is how can you deal with that? One, you have several choices. You can ignore it. You can say something about it. Well, those are the two things. You can ignore it or do something about it. However you define doing something about it is different from probably the next person. Or you can just not say anything about it and just do. And that's a concept. Just to give you a background of my family history, my grandfather was a World War II veteran. My grandfather's a World War II veteran. My father is a Desert Storm veteran or whatnot. Military heavy on my side of the family, on my dad's side of the family altogether. My grandfather was one of the first black men, and I don't like giving people their flowers and shit like that just for being black. Hey, but I gotta give it to my grandfather. He was one of the few black people that worked in Dobbins, which is an army base out here in Georgia, and he was a part of that very early on. And if you think about the development of the area, you got to understand the opportunities that black men had at that particular time was slim to none. And he made the best of what he could do. He did it within the family construct, and he did it honorably. He did it legally too. Not very much glory in that, but that should be the story for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I humbly respect my grandfather for what he does, because if it wasn't for my grandfather, my great grandfather, and so forth, my ancestors there, I don't think I will be where I'm at right now. And that's why I don't sit there and focus on what slavery is choice or nah, because I know the answer to that. Nobody wants to be a damn slave. If you ask someone that, hey man, you want to be a slave or you want to be free? What the fuck fuck you think any person would say? And if they was contained with force, by the way, obviously doubles down on what the situation could be. Dude, the very concepts of life, man, is this right here, man. Family. And knowing more about your own personal history and understanding where you come from and what you're going to do with it to build what? A quote unquote legacy. And we could go all day about talking. I could go all day as a brother that says, man, you know, this is unfair, and life is unfair. This white boy, he got this white boy has all the opportunities in the world, man. Oh, and my ass, nobody don't like me because, dude, it's a worthless conversation to have with yourself as it is out loud. Do something about it. No doubt you can manipulate people through feelings. The most popular people in the world understand that concept, and the ones that don't understand that concept, that watch maybe some shortcut videos or whatever, understand that if you do a funny video, people are going to laugh, so they can manipulate you. So that concept is what it is. I think E was talking about today's slavery currently ongoing. Dude, you gotta be careful with the word slavery because, and I'm not saying it as in you're what you're saying is wrong and I disagree with, but yes, discrimination is a thing. Absolutely. Obviously it's a thing. But in order from social construct of families and working together, it's easy to work together than it is to be an individual. And we have a lot of people that are individuals amongst each other. And having and the greatest thing that you could do as a person for your onset community is to give knowledge, to teach. It is. And if you could successfully teach your people concepts and bring new concepts to the table, then people of other parts of the world will respect what you're going to do. Just believe that. I'm so past the moment of sitting here and blaming people because they are of a certain race and that person's of a certain race. Yeah, I get it. You know, there's going to be people that, again, this is what I was talking about earlier, but there are going to be people that will always not like you for the dumbest reasons. And skin tone happens to be one of those reasons. There's also people that will hate what you do, what their ancestors did to your ancestors, for sure. And what is missing out of a lot of part of Black people's story is that, dog, let's be real. If we knew about our kings and queens and knew our very concepts, our existence in life surpass entertainment. Though I love entertainment myself, I love making beats and love making music and stuff like that. I love entertaining because I would go fucking crazy. As long as you understand, if we could get the scholar-based, if the scholars in our community were uplifted as much as the most retarded, dumb, corny, stupid people in our community, and sometimes it doesn't even be people that look like me in our community that lives in people's brains rent free. If we can uplift the people that that could uplift the economics of our community, then we would be doing very well. Because again, another small sector that so-called Black people are small in is financing. Financial literacy. And I hate to even say it, we don't live in that world legitfully. Everything has to be put to us like it's some miracle scam type shit. And a lot of it is scams and shit like that. And a lot of our folks do scam. That's not exclusive to black people though. That's everybody. And once we understand that everybody's trying to get the fuck over, then we'll understand why we're so much alike. Because we damn near bleed and die the same way. Ain't no person, no human can reject a bullet out of their body. We ain't got superheroes. We ain't got Avengers and shit. I'm just saying. As long as we understand that we're alike in a lot of different ways, then you'll understand how you can advance in life without not worrying about a damn thing or what people think. And yeah, you probably might be, we got pocket racist people in this world. And we got people that are prejudiced. This is why a lot of people say everybody's racist, everybody's prejudiced. What's going on, Roger Williams? From what I understand, the whole cultural war was concocted by the government to move people's outrage away from communist ideas about class struggle. Yeah, I mean, everybody out here struggling, by the way. It's good to, there's billions of dollars to push the narrative in a manner where there are certain type of people that aren't doing well. There's plenty of black folks that are very, very brilliant. There's tons of people, brothers that are naturally built to do and born to be engineers. My grandfather, engineer, dad, engineer. It's more likely in my DNA that I would be an engineer, and look at me now. It's just different. The path that I chose is much different from my father, and the opportunities wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my father and grandfather, great-grandfather, and so forth. So, you got to make the best of what you do. You gonna watch that documentary? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it too. It's 6:00 shit. Matter of fact, guys, I bid y'all a good day. It's been a really good stream. I know I didn't do any beat making. Well, I have, and I'm very capable of doing it because now my energy is in a good place, and it's good to sit with people and kind of talk and not just like think I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I do take y'all guys' opinions and what y'all say seriously. I don't take it to the heart when people say crazy shit. I do feel that you guys, what y'all guys represent, and when y'all take y'all time to check me out, that I totally agree with the concepts of what we talk about, and I'm not afraid of a topic or anything like that. No, I won't touch certain topics with of course, and I won't spread misinformation ever. That's one thing I will not do. I will not be a shill or anything like that. I will talk about shit I like. That's what you can almost guarantee. Well, no, that's what you can count on me to do. But yeah, 6:06, baby. It's almost time for that Kanye movie. I'm probably going to do a short video on it and talk about it, my experience watching it, because that'll be cool. But yeah, y'all have a good day. God bless y'all. Eyes out of here.